thing why I have been achieving, creating, fulfilling whatever I desired? And why do I see other people not getting their results or not getting there? And I thought this is an important topic to address, because there really is one thing, and it seems so simple. It's because you just didn't find it yet. It's because if you decide it's yours, and just to like give my example, so I desired a family already when I was 3 or 4 years old. When people would ask me, what do you want to be? I want to be a mother when I'm growing up. I want to become a mom. Mom was the thing. And so for me, like searching, looking, experiencing, exploring all these different relationships, all these different men, it was like I could have quit like at like, I don't know, it was like horrendous. If I look back, I'm like, I just didn't get it. I just didn't get what it was to have and create a loving relationship. Yes, it was all about holding myself in a way that I was lovable, and so that I would repel all the people who would not do that, right? And so only when I figured that part out and I was willing to go to surrender, because that was really the place I was, instead of fighting it, trying to work myself through to it, trying to find the solutions, all of that. I was at a certain point, for me, it was after my divorce, I was in a state of surrender, of, well, everything went wrong. And we talked about that yesterday in the Facebook Live, like everything went wrong in my case. That's how I felt it, right? My whole life collapsed. It was, in my idea at that time, the biggest failure ever to go through a divorce and to have 3 little children. Youngest one was 3, I think. And so it felt horrible. But being there, I also experienced the freedom of choice, the freedom of rebuilding my life in a way. Now, that truly is surrender. So what if you, around the thing what is not working for you, you could apply surrender without having to go through a divorce? Because surrender is a state. It's an active state of being. I was just thinking about it. They showed me that, right? When you're, for example, in an emotional thing or in a thing, it's like you go down of the slides in a swimming pool. Well, when you're on the slides, you can't stop, right? There's no way of turning back. You can say stop when you look at it. I'm not going to choose this. That is probably what you want to do next time. But like you go back down the stairs, and the next time when you see the stairs of the slide, you're like, no, I don't think so. I'm walking back, right? But now you're on the slide. You're in the emotion. You're in the struggle. You're right there. So what is the way out? Well, sometimes it's just being in that state where you are, being intimate with the fear, being intimate with the doubt, being intimate with the resistance, or whatever humanness. Yes, you're human, and you're allowed to be human, right? All experiences are well. So you're just allowed to be in that human state of whatever, fear, doubt, resentful. I'm not getting there. Everyone has great relationships, beautiful companies, fulfilling lives, and I'm the one not getting it. At least that's what I thought for a long time, right? And so I know people are thinking that. It's for you, not for me. And so when you're on the slide, you can't stop. But when you allow yourself to be aware, okay, I'm on the slide, but I know there will be light quite literally at the other end of the tunnel, and I will get to choose again, and I will not quit before I figured it out, because it's energy alignment. Everything I created was not because of what I did, because I did put in the work before. I did do all the things. I just didn't do it from the right aligned place. I did it from a different aligned place, which got me, in my case, like many times relationships which I didn't get treated well, all of that. And so when you come into that alignment, for me, I am love. I only want to create a fulfilling, like all of that. So when you come into that alignment, now that is the only way to go. So it starts with getting into that centered state of what you want to create. And from that place, you go into the situation. And it's like, then you are in surrender, because you will not take like, oh, I'm going to take this just because it's there. No, you only will say yes to the things really aligned. And now that is the key. It's the key to not say yes to all the noise outside. Many people say yes because they think I can't get anymore. But what if you would stick with your vision? And that is where you need that leadership within you. And so I'm going to dive in the question like in the channeling, but if you want to know more about how to do that, how to lead yourself into that fulfilling life, how to lead yourself with grace into whatever you desire, business, relationship, fulfillment, life, like whatever it is, come tonight, 6:30 p.m. to the Sacred Feminine Leadership Workshop. It will be 3 hours. I'm going to be co-hosting that with 4 others. It is free. And so only talking yesterday with Christina for 20 minutes, we already touched so many subjects. So I can't wait to see you there. But now I'm going to see what they say around, like how to do that, how to literally, if you don't get the results yet, if you don't have like created the life you really desire yet, how to go about that. So I'm going to see what they say. And yes, share the hearts and likes. I love it. We truly adore coming to you in moments like this, as it feels hugely satisfying to us to be able to connect with you, to be able to talk directly to you, to be able to radiate an energy into your heart space, which gives you time to breathe, which gives you time to relax and just to nourish yourself in the knowing you are not on your own. Life is way more expansive than what you most of the time are experiencing on the earth, because when you're in the physical, you're very much centered in the physical experience. And so when you learn to dance with centering in the physical experience, yet being truly connected with your divine force of your infinite being, now you figured out the key. And so when you are looking through the eyes of your infinite being, when you look like a mother to a child, like what you would like love for your baby sister to happen, all of that, when you look through those eyes towards yourself, you will be crystal clear on the things which you would tolerate, because for another person you would be easy, like you could say I wouldn't do that, because you can see the suffering. And so if you learn to tune in to who you are and to lead, not just to tune in, but to lead your life through the decisions and the aligned action of what you would recommend your most loved friend, child, mother, whatever. And so when you learn to do it that way, not just when you're there with others, but when you give to yourself in that way, you would give the advice, meaning what alignment are you going to take? What are you willing to do, instead of, oh, just say yes to everything and be in the chaotic states of the day and just like allow the noise and the people and the things and the situations and everything to dictate how you feel and how you are like holding yourself. This is the moment to start aligning with the advice you would give to your most loved person on the whole planet, not just in the big decisions, in the little ones. What would you expect, like what would you recommend her or him to do with the thing what is bothering you right now? And so instead of thinking about it, instead of like debating about it, feeling into it, feeling miserable about it, the best way is, what you can do is to align with the way out, which usually is one of relief, one of letting go. So if we talk surrender, that is what surrender is. You surrender to something bigger than you. You surrender that you will be taken care of, and that asks trust. Surrender is knowing we are here, knowing we have got your back, knowing it's not just you running your life. And so if you know that, it's like, I know, I can trust now that there will be a better path aligning for me. And so if you keep on thinking you are the one having to do all the heavy lifting, now you're taking all the effort into the action. And so now the being gets very much distracted and not seen and is not able to radiate the truth of life. And so it's waiting for you to literally accept your infinite being as the most important part in leading you, in guiding you into the life you truly desire, because it's already out there, it's already aligned, and it's already ready to step onto. But if you keep going around in circles by thinking the same thing, by doing the same thing, and not surrendering to, there's something bigger taking care of me. I don't have to do everything right now. There is a bigger plan for me. I know I will receive everything I desire. I don't have to put a timeline on it. It's okay to not be there yet, because I know how delightful it will be when my intention, my vision, and my manifestation will all come into alignment, and it will just be magical. And I can't wait for that to happen. And it's okay that I don't know exactly how to do it, or that I'm not there yet. What is there anyway? And so what if I would take my alignment with who I am, and I would guide myself through that? What if I would take on the experiment of me allowing myself only to be led by the bigger part of me? Meaning listening to the best advice I would give to someone else, because I already know the best advice. I just sometimes try the same thing over and over again, and that's okay, because I'm human. But today I will decide to lead my life only by and through the sacred connection I hold with my source, with who I truly am. And now I step into that life, and I will have fun. And I will laugh with and at myself whenever I try to do the same thing. And I'm like, oh no, I was deciding to lead my life through who I am, to give myself the best advice I could. And so if I want to create the relationship, if I want to have the business, am I really showing up in a way that it is effective? Am I showing up in a way that it's easy and that it gets to be a lot of fun? Instead of forcing myself, because force will never get you the result you are willing, you are wanting or desiring. It will not get you love or satisfaction. But having fun with yourself in the co-creation with, seeing whenever you take on the detour and you're like, oh no, that's me taking the detour. I'm going back. I'm going back on what I was supposed to do. And this is it. I'm going to be so courageous, because I'm going to do all new things. I'm going to listen to the most weirdest, newest, most fun ideas coming up in my mind. And I'm going to lead myself through that. I'm going to commit to taking that path of not knowing there's a bigger part of me, surrendering to I am being taken care of. And now you figured it out, because that is life, on the leading edge of creation. That is where everything will happen. And so if you are willing to step on that place where you surrender to the not known, and you give yourself the best advice, because you can feel the expansion in the advice. You can feel the well-being, the taking care of you, the clarity, the satisfaction. And you all know that. It's just, are you courageous enough to really step into life, to really start living instead of experiencing life, instead of window shopping? Are you willing to be on that leading edge of life, of manifestation, where you put yourself in the place where it feels like a free fall, and at the same time, you know, there will be strong hands, wings coming out of you, because you are carried. And so if you are willing to take the leap, and you feel the free fall, and you surrender to that, and in the meanwhile you're having fun and you try new things instead of repeating all the old, which gives you just the old, you start doing the new. You start calling up that person because you feel inspired. You start doing all the things you feel inspired to, instead of waiting and life passing by and nothing ever changing. It's you putting yourself on that leading edge. It's you putting yourself on that center point of manifestation, and it is you allowing yourself the gift of life, instead of the sleep state, instead of being hypnotized by society, instead of not having the fun like a little child would have. And we so adore you, we so love you. And listen again, because we want you to get this, because if you get this, you get it all. It's a new state of living and being. If you do this, if you're willing to take the risks, If you're willing to trust, if you're willing to surrender, now you will get into that free fall, which is called life. And that was that. And so that was good. I enjoyed that. And did you? So what, like, I already talked about surrender. Surrender is that you trust all will be well. What if you would know all your desires, everything you would like, everything you desire in life is taken care of, and it's not your job. Your job is to dive into the free fall by exploring, discovering, being in a place where you not have been before. Because if you stick to the same routines, the same mindset, the same actions, the same life, what do you think you will get? It's the same. If you want to create different results, you really have to be willing to step into that free fall, knowing you are taken care of and taking the aligned action, having fun with yourself in the co-creation, leading yourself by what you would advise your mother, your sister, your best friend. You just take that advice. And instead of backing off, because you know I have to say no, but you say yes anyway, or you know I have to say yes, but you say no all the time because of money, time, permission, self-worth, lack, all of that. If you're not willing to move through that slide, you will never get to that point. You have to go through that slide and to center yourself and to surrender yourself, because that will be your free fall into the thing you really desire. And so I would love for you to share what you got out of this tonight. Much love. Bye. Bye.